Coming back to dating in your late 40s after 20 years of being married is wild. If someone asks for my Snapchat, you, sir, are too young for me. And I know that instantly. Also, it's possible I could be asked out by your dad and your grandpa. It's very strange.
The 40-year-old woman is like ripe fruit. She reached her peak a long time ago, and the clock never stops ticking. A 40-year-old man still has real options. He can pursue a woman who's 30 or 35, with more years ahead of her and more to offer in terms of starting a family and building a stable future. She, on the other hand, showed up late to an auction where the highest bidders had already.
I am 40 years old and I am navigating the world of dating. At the end of the day, most people in my age range, they've been married and divorced. They've been in really awful relationships and they've been hurt. And I think to our core, most of us are looking for the same thing. We're looking for kindness. If I could find that gentleman that's truly kind, but not a pushover, and strong and protective, but not necessarily an asshole, except for when he needs to be. Done. Sold. Sign on the dotted line.
I had a date set up for yesterday. Asked me how it went. I don't know. He asked for a rain check 45 minutes before we were supposed to meet. I fucking hate dating.
Why is dating so frustrating? Why? So, talking to this guy on this dating app, right, for about 2 weeks, exchanged phone numbers, everything's good. Asks me tonight, what are your plans this weekend? When I say, oh, my kids are actually with their dad this weekend. I work on Saturday, but just half the day. How about you? Oh, I have no plans. Then fucking nothing. Nothing after that. Not would you like to meet up? Do you want to make plans? No, nothing. Why? Why even ask? Why are you even asking what my plans are? If you have no intention of asking. And the other thing that pisses me off is that I feel like people that do that just expect you to not have plans. Like they can ask you last minute. Like they'll ask me tomorrow night, hey, you want to hang out tonight? No, motherfucker, I'm busy. And now I'm busy, right? Am I really busy? No. But I'm going to tell you I'm busy because you really think that you can ask people the last minute to do something? Like make a plan, make it a priority. Because if people don't feel like they're a priority, they don't want to spend their time with you, right? Like when I'm dating somebody, you are my priority. I make you my priority, right? I don't know. Dating nowadays is just so different. I don't think I'm ready for it at all. Nope.
Dating a 40-year-old woman is always a surprise. You never really know what you're going to get. 1 or 2 divorces, several kids from different chads, the woman with no children who's desperate and willing to do anything to have them, the one who gave up on having kids but resents that you have yours, or the one who refuses to be a stepmother. It's a coin toss. And you know which one is the worst? The one who's still demanding a high-value man, even though her prime ended 15 years ago, and expects you to marry her. That's why men are letting her hit the wall, because the wall doesn't forgive.
I was asked by a man if I had any plans to settle down, which I find baffling as a lady in my 40s, and I have been taking care of my dogs for the last 9 years. I've been the sole provider. This house I bought 16 years ago as a single lady. It's all mine. I mean, mine and the bank's. It's the longest relationship I've been in. I've been at my current employer 14 years, and I know the real question is, why have you not settled for a dusty-ass man? And I think we know why ladies are not settling. We don't have to.
Stop it. Get some help.
So guys, me and Nicole both agree that if a man is 40 plus, or at least 40, and he's never been with a woman, he's never lived with a woman, never been married, what do we think of him, Nicole?
Bachelor for life.
Yeah, bachelor for life. And there is a reason he never committed. I think he just doesn't want to, what's the word? He doesn't want to compromise. He wants things his way.
What do you think?
What do you guys think? This is a huge red flag. If a guy
in 1
who's
mile,
40,
turn left onto Arizona Avenue.
Who's 40,
44,
never been married, never lived with a girl. I mean, not even lived with a girl? What the hell? I lived with a guy when I was 20. I had a boyfriend. We lived together for 1 year. At 44.
Comments and feedback.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Because this is ridiculous. I mean, those men are they're hosts. Seriously.
Dating in your 40s hits differently to when you're in your 20s. Just completely, you're looking for something entirely different. And obviously I speak from a woman's perspective, but when you're in your 20s, you're attracted, I think, predominantly to the physicalities of a man, right? So you might like muscles, you might like brown eyes instead of blue eyes. They have to be 6 foot or whatever the checklist might be. But I think after failed marriages, toxic relationships with those kind of people, we come out of those relationships and we're still craving those butterflies. We're still craving that push-pull, toxicity. I can't say toxicity. Say it. But what we should be looking for is a man who calms our nervous system, who switches our minds off. That's the key.
That man didn't ask what you own. He asked why you've never been with someone, why you've never had a husband. A dog isn't a child or a husband. Having to answer by showing off your possessions says more about you than it does about him. The second woman needs to understand that men no longer like the idea of having to split the wealth they worked so hard to build. That's why they're not handing out rings so easily anymore. On top of that, modern women don't want a prenup or a common law relationship, and that pushes men away from making a commitment. That's why it's so hard for a 40-year-old woman to find a man, because men don't want to be her retirement plan, and they're even less willing to take that kind of risk on a 40-year-old woman.
Women.
And this is why I don't date or try and do the whole online dating and speaking to anybody, because it's just a pile of crap. So at the weekend, I was convinced to open up my dating profile again, matching with people and all that business, and I wasn't convinced, but yeah, there was a nice man that appeared, so we started talking, and for the last 5-6 days we've been chatting backwards and forwards. I got a really good vibe from him, seemed like a lovely man. He was laughing at what I was saying, I was laughing at what he was saying. He ticked loads of boxes. He was really nice, seemed really polite, just seemed really nice. So I was thinking, oh, maybe, just maybe I can pluck up the courage to meet up. Maybe I should suggest meeting up. But last night, logged on, went to look at my last message and gone. Everything's gone. No messages. So I can only assume he's either deleted his profile or he's unmatched me. Nice. So what's the point? Why go through all that when just nothing? Why can't you just have some balls, be honest, and say, I'm not into it, but, take care? I'd have been fine with that. And now it's made me feel a certain way that I don't like. It's got me questioning myself, thinking, what have I said? Does he not like the way I look? What? And I don't like that. And I don't have that when I'm not trying to date. I'm confident. I'm positive. And it's made me feel a bit, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what I'll do now. I know it was only one person for 5 days, but I'm like, what's the point if that's all that happens? Maybe I'll carry on a bit, but probably won't. I'll probably shut it down again. I won't look again for another 6 months. Because this is why I just can't be doing with it. I can't be doing with just disrupting my peace. So, yeah, watch this space. Maybe I'll carry on. Maybe I won't. I don't know. Dating in your 40s, hey. It's just crazy.
All I gotta say, if you are dating a man in his 40s and he is divorced, the 3-month rule does not apply. You need a 6-month rule. For them, it's really around the 6th-month mark that the mask falls off. That's when you see some crazy shit. Because let me tell you something, do not be fooled. They are the most immature men I have dated. By immature, I mean, might all have had personality disorders. Also, if they played a sport, run. If they played any professional sport, run for your fucking life. Pray for us.
Gotcha, bitch!
Nothing turns me off more than waking up at 6 a.m. to a text from a man who's in his 40s at 1:40 in the morning asking me what I'm doing. Sir, I'm asleep. The fact that you're awake and out asking a girl what she's doing is disgusting. Go to bed, sir. Yeah, I have nothing for you. I'm getting my fucking beauty sleep, even though I have bags under my eyes right now. I'm trying.
To the woman complaining that the guy disappeared from the dating app, 5 days of chatting isn't a relationship, it's just a conversation. The man saw something, weighed his options, and decided it wasn't worth continuing. That's his right. But what's really interesting isn't that he left. It's what she reveals about herself. She demands honesty, clarity, and courage from a man she'd been talking to for less than a week, while admitting that it took her days to work up the courage just to suggest meeting in person. A broken radar never warns you when it's going off. And to the two women judging 40-year-old men, no woman with real options wastes her time making videos about men she supposedly isn't interested in. What you're describing is exactly right. They complain about 40-year-old men on camera, then reply to their messages at 2 a.m. in private, because those men have what they're looking for: stability, resources, and good judgment. The problem is that today's 40-year-old man also has something he didn't have before: information. He knows how the game works now. And once a man learns the rules, he recognizes when women in their 30s are desperate and have already hit the wall. And gentlemen, the wall doesn't forgive. We've reached the end of the video, but before you go, here are 2 questions for you. Would you date a 40-year-old woman who has children from previous relationships, or is that an automatic red flag for you? Do you think a 40-year-old woman who's demanding a high-value man has already lost her negotiating leverage, or does she still have cards left to play? If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Your support means a lot to us and motivates us to keep creating more content. Stay tuned for the next video from the wall.